So I've watched Mission Impossible: The Final Reckoning, potentially the last film of the older Ethan Hunt Tom Cruise franchise, and it is absolutely enthralling. I mean, it's just a movie that non-stop tension. It's building tension from the very first scene of the film, and it's a jaw-dropping scene as well. That very first scene is fantastic, and I'm not going to spoil it, but I mean, the editing is just incredible. They're intercutting scenes to rack up the tension even more. The first hour is just extremely well made, and it's just nerve-wracking, and it never gets dull, not even for a second. And obviously, the next two acts just go insane. The second and the third act are just... I didn't even know they could make movies like this, I'm gonna be honest. A lot of the criticism was around, the first hour mostly being a drag about conversations, and Ethan Hunt has to explain to people what he's going to do, so they'd let him do it. And, sure, he is convincing the government a lot, but also just the editing and, man, the adrenaline pumping through those conversations as they argue about, the entity and Gabriel and the key and all that. It's so well done. It's so intense. It genuinely feels like they are arguing about, saving the world. And let's be honest, it's not really a Mission Impossible movie if the characters don't argue about who should save the world while the ticking time bomb is also counting down. Cinematography is beautiful, but, I do think it is a shame that there are times where it's very desaturated. I don't know why. Because the first trailer had beautiful, vibrant colours, but then, they toned it down, and in this movie, it's still fantastic. The colours are mostly still there, but there are just certain scenes where it very much looks very grey. Still looks brilliant, but it's sort of a shame they had to remove the colours, but I don't know why. The use of shadows in this film, oh man, it's so good. It is incredible. Just, it instills a sense of dread that I genuinely haven't felt since the first film. Gabriel is a lot more goofier in this than he is in Dead Reckoning, but he is also simultaneously just so much more menacing. And I think that's very much thanks to the cinematography just going absolutely haywire when it came to lighting him, because the shadows in his scenes are so incredible. It's just, I've never seen it in a Mission Impossible movie, I have to be honest. I've only seen it, they've only done this in like Rogue Nation or, the first one. It's unbelievable. It is unbelievable. It's a beautiful movie. Now obviously the highlight is the Sevastopol set piece. That Sevastopol set piece is genuinely a horror film. I don't know how they managed to pull that off. I mean, the entire theatre was silent during the whole thing, and there was like about 2 or 3 moments where just everyone gasped. It was beautiful to hear. I gotta be honest. There's so much tension, so terrifying that I have no idea how they did it. My heart was almost going to jump out of my throat. I genuinely felt my chest tightening. I mean, somehow they've topped the Burj Khalifa scene from Ghost Protocol, and they've topped the helicopter chase in Fallout. But what's even crazier is they do it twice in this film. I mean, that's just insane. The biplane chase at the end might genuinely be the best set piece of this entire franchise. It is. I was in shock. I was just silent. My mouth was open. I was leaned forward, locked in, and that is pure movie magic. I don't think we're ever going to get a movie like this again. We're never going to get anyone like Tom Cruise ever again doing this kind of stuff just for a Mission Impossible movie, man. It is ridiculous. It's ridiculous. Everyone's performances are, just fantastic all around the board, especially Simon Pegg and Tom Cruise. I mean, Simon Pegg is absolutely devastating in this. He's on fire. The pure raw emotions he's feeling are just portrayed perfectly on his face. It's gut-wrenching. And Tom Cruise is the most desperate he's ever been in this. He is ruthless, he is vicious. This is every scene he's in adds to the tension, adds to his stress, adds his adrenaline. It goes further and further until a scene right before the third act where he just cracks and everything explodes and he goes mental. He is absolutely on fire. I mean, his shouts right in that scene right when the third act starts. I mean, his shouting was unbelievable to hear. It's just, this is Ethan Hunt at his most adrenaline-fueled and his most vicious and relentless since the third film. Yeah, I mean, he's running at speeds that I didn't even think Tom Cruise could actually hit anymore. It's just absolutely insane. And this is simultaneously the funniest movie of the franchise, while also being the most serious and darkest and bleakest and most depressing. I mean, some of the bits in this and some of the lines, I had the entire theatre dying of laughter. There was some fantastically funny line delivery, brilliant scenes, just, I mean, it's really, really, really funny. But when the movie decides to get serious, I mean, they lock in. They really lock in. I mean, Jesus Christ, it's just, this is the only Mission Impossible movie where I genuinely felt how massive the stakes were. I mean, I feared for all these characters. I genuinely feared for them. This was the only time I thought, none of these guys are actually safe. Anyone could genuinely die in this movie. The score is also fantastic. I mean, it's not as good as Dead Reckoning, and definitely not Fallout, or Rogue Nation for that matter, but it is bombastic, it's intense, and it's terrifying when it needs to be. It is really, really a fantastic score. It adds to every scene, adds to the tension, adds to just the weight of it. It's so well done, and it's a very fitting score for the climax of a 30-year-long franchise. All in all, this film is just a masterpiece. I mean, sure, you know, it has its lulls here and there. You know, perhaps there's a few too many conversations for some people, but I gotta be honest, who cares, you know, because Trammell Tillman is giving just such a magnetic performance that every line delivery he does, it just glues you to the screen. And Katie O'Brien, she's barely saying anything, and she's still just exuding charisma. There's not a moment where, when the camera cuts to her, I was not locked onto her immediately. Her body language, everything she was doing was on point, and she had a minor role, and she was just going on fire. A film for the ages, man. Just a genuinely nail-biting and a terrifying finale. I mean, perfect pacing, insanely tense build-up, and some really, really good conversations and arguments. And obviously, the action scenes there are completely different level from literally every other franchise, maybe except John Wick, but that's another beast. Genuinely one of the most beautiful endings I've ever seen to a movie. I mean, I did not expect to be moved this much from Mission Impossible, but here we are, man. This is a fantastic film, man. Just best film of the year so far, I need to be honest. But Mission Impossible Final Reckoning, I'm giving it an easy 5 stars. I know some people won't like the more slow, intense build-up of this, the more relaxed, well, not really relaxed, but the pacing, it's not really action-packed, but it's just a movie that feels made for me. I'm a very big fan of, you know, messy, big dialogue, exposition, arguments, and, you know, tense build-up. I like drama. I really, really like drama. Also, it helps that I did get the key to the entity, that it came with the popcorn bucket, and, you know, I really can't ask for more. This is one of the best theatre experiences I've ever had. Go see this movie in IMAX if you can, or, well, you have to. This is unrivaled, probably going to be the best summer blockbuster of the year, but, well, I mean, I'm looking forward to Fantastic Four and Superman, but let's be honest, man, this is another level. But yeah, that's all I got.